can stand. When you're weak and worn, He is holding your hand. Just be still. Know He's God. Just be still. Know He's God. The devil's busy, but my God is bigger, yes. He sees the pain you feel. Let Him dry His tears. While He's working, you have to trust Him. Just be still. Know He is God. Just be still. Know He is God. He's God. He's God. While you wait, please don't lose your faith. Hold on to the truth. Hey, everybody. Super excited about tonight. Glad to have you all here. If you're on this page, then you know my name is LaShaun Martin, and I am elated to be able to have this conversation with you and everyone that's joining in tonight. I was actually just sharing it on my Facebook, so take an opportunity to share now. If you haven't done so already, share. We love it when you share. We are going to give it just about another 2 or 3 minutes before we get started, but we are super happy to have you all here. I'm going to look at the comments and read the comments while I'm talking. But yes, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Join us. We have some special guests that are going to be joining us as well. Very excited about having them here. So come on in the room. We'll just give it a few minutes. If you want to keep playing the audio, that would be great, just to allow some folks time to come in. Great. Oh my, just be still. Know He's. Let it play. When you're troubled, frustration is on every hand. When you're tired, don't know if you can stand. When you're weak and worn, He is holding your hand. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you joining us. We are watching you join. Hang out with us for a little bit today. Just be still. We are ready. Hey, Bridget. Hi, Mom. My mom is on. The devil's busy. Hey, Linda Garner. Great to see you. My God is bigger. Good to see you. He sees the Suggs. Great to see you as well. We see you all chiming in. We all see you popping in. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's going to be a fun night. We have some fun things planned. Vanessa, hey Max. Thank you so much for coming. We are playing your song. Yay! We're so grateful that you are loving the song and playing the song and sharing the song. So again, if you are just joining us, take a few minutes and share this live. We are excited about tonight. We're like the old church folks say, we're not going to be before you long, but come and join us. So excited. Hey, sis. Again, we've got more people coming in. I am watching your comments now. Hi, Tanique. Great to see you. Pop into the live, Tanique. Click on the full link. So click on the video. That way you can actually come over. Hey there, Star April. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. Thank you all for being supportive. All right. All right. Hey there. Love the song. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, we're just watching the comments come in. We're going to give it maybe about 2 more minutes, and then we are going to get started for the evening. Thank you all for joining us again. If you haven't already, take a moment and share this live. We are super happy to have you here. We hope that that you will enjoy the evening with us. Again, we're not going to be before you long, but we just wanted to share some things with you. All right, I think we can. Oh, that's perfect timing. Come on, Jesus. That's perfect timing. Ended exactly where we need to end it. All right. So again, thank you all for joining. My name is LaShaun Martin. I am super happy that you decided to spend the evening with us. When I say us, I have some special guests that are going to be on with me in just a moment. But thank you again for joining. If you haven't already, take a moment to share this live. We want everyone to be able to hear and see the making of Be Still. So one of the reasons, one of several reasons that we actually asked you to join us tonight is so that you could see the process that it took and have some discussion about the process and the journey of Be Still. This song has touched so many lives, and we are just happy about what it's doing. We're happy about what God is doing with the song, and we're just very grateful that people are listening and people are really being encouraged by the song. So I will start off with the actual video of the making of Be Still. So if you can roll the video now.
When you're troubled, frustration is on every hand. When you're tired, you don't know if you can stand. When you're weak and worn, He is holding your hand. Just be
Tough times are going to come in our lives, but I've learned when they do, trust God and be still.
Side profile. Turn your body this way too. Go ahead and spread your legs out to me.
Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. Happy birthday. And I know this is going to be great.
Thanks. I just can't wait for the world to see the awesome gift that you have, that God's given you.
I know I'm going to be singing it all day and all night. I'm not going to be able to get it out of my head.
It's bad enough that racial and inequality has completely overshadowed the whole pandemic. But in all of this, be still and know.
But every word in that song has been my testimony for the last 3 years.
I want to thank you for sharing medicine and not only great music.
This song is so well constructed that it's going to be very, very attractive to a lot of different people.
It's in your heart, in your life, in your gift to deliver it to the world at a time like this. So
I love the song, but I don't care what you sing. I just love the voice. You can say anything. It would not even matter.
I love the song. It actually moved me to tears. The timing is amazing.
So I appreciate you always, having a word and praying with me when I ask you for that. And the song is gonna step in when I can't bug you.
You see the thugs who will be like, never would have made it. Right? It's like, how do you know that song? This is one of those.
Wow.
There are only a certain amount of people who can come into the delivery room to witness a birth. We have witnessed a great birth today. That song is you. Without the music, I could just hear you saying every word of encouragement. And your baby is going to thrive and do glorious and magnificent things in the kingdom of God. In the name of Jesus. I love you.
You're always on. Like when the countdown drops and it's time, you're always on. From your outfit to your chords to your notes to your anointing, you're always on. It's like there's an expectation. What used to be exceptional becomes expected. Like we expect you to be excellent. That's just the pressure that's on you because of the power of music in our world and how music frames our thinking, how people listen to music before they go into job interviews, before they go into sporting events. Like the world needs to know. There's certain things you can't know unless you're still enough to know it. Like when God says, be still and know I'm God, it's not like he's not God. He's God anyway. You just have to be still enough to know it.
So I am getting ready to post my very first debut single. I'm just so grateful to God that he allowed me to see this day. That he didn't give up on me even when I gave up on myself. Here we go.
I have been waiting to say this for a very long time.
Ready?
Do you guys want to say it all together?
Be Still
It's officially available on all digital platforms. Yeah!
Alexa, play Be Still by LaShaun Martin.
Be Still by LaShaun Martin on Amazon Music.
Oh my God!
I bet you like Alexa now, huh?
God, you're so good.
So that is the making of Be Still. That takes you on a journey from the beginning to where we are now. I would like to now invite my very special guests, the producers of Be Still and the co-writers of Be Still, Christopher Leach, and Jarmone Davis. Come on, y'all.
Yo,
Hey.
what's up? Mama.
My,
Yes, yes,
my. We are
yes.
here. We are here. It has been a journey, but we are here.
Yes.
Woo,
So thank you
definitely a
guys for
journey.
joining me tonight. I'm super excited to have you guys here to be able to talk through, the journey to be still. Um, some people, say, well, this is just a single. Why are you doing so much with a single? Well, it's because this single took years to come to light. This single took years to be birthed, and so I believe that it would shine a light on God to just take the time to celebrate this single and the journey to it and what it's meant to me. What it means to you all and what it's meaning to other people now that they have the ability to hear it. So thank you, Jar and
And
Chris, for joining
and,
me.
and, and,
Yeah, thank you.
and, and let me start off by being extremely churchy and saying,
Okay.
can we put our hands together for LaShaun Martin? I mean,
Together.
look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at them. Look at them.
Look what
I mean,
God did. Ah,
this is
oh,
this is incredible.
Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
hey, she's setting the bar for artists. Ain't no more going live from your phone. No, you got to have
glory.
all this now.
Listen, you got to do a little extra,
No,
and
no,
Yeah.
no, this
actually
is
that's
great.
Ain't
This is
ain't
great.
nothing wrong with a little extra for God. Ain't nothing wrong with
just
a
a little
little
extra
extra.
for Jesus, just a little extra. If you're gonna do it, you got to do it in excellence, right?
Listen, do it
Yeah,
big.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just saying, that's actually a perfect opportunity for me to take a moment to thank Amplify Network, they are on the back end managing this whole process. They are
Nice.
producing this live tonight, and I am super thankful for their partnership in bringing the making of Be Still to life for me. You can have things going on in your brain, and you can write things down, and you don't know if it's going to turn out the way you want it to turn out, but then you partner with people that have the excellence and the
Absolutely.
expertise to help you pull your vision to light. So,
Absolutely.
and that's what you all have done too, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. Let me just say hi to a couple of people before we move forward. I see Marsha on here. I see Vanessa Russell. I see Shonda Nugent. That's my baby. I see Sharon Phillips. My mom is on.
Woo!
I see Tamik Giddings, Tiffany Wood. So excited for you, Tiffany Wood in Woodbridge. Thank you so much for joining. Linda Garner, I'm sorry. Gina, thank you so much for joining. Jen, Medina, we love you, sis. Thank you so much for joining.
See?
Greg, bro, love you. Tiffany Carr, Letta, my sis, Leona. Now, gosh, wow. People are joining that have known me since I was literally a kid. So
Wow.
this is pretty
Wow.
cool. This is pretty
Awesome.
cool.
Amazing.
Bruce Crossman, thank you, Bruce, for joining. Tracy Willis, and yes, thank you for everyone. If I missed anyone, we will get to your comments in a moment. I think I saw Tanique on here. I slightly delayed in me receiving your comments. So, all right, so let's get into it. Again, I said, we ain't gonna be before you long. So, and we are not having the 5 to 10 Baptist or Kojic closings on
Closes.
We're not doing it. No, we're not doing it.
Something might break out. You never know.
Hey, you never know.
Actually,
Come on,
this
Jesus.
is our first. This is our first close. This is your first close right
This
here.
is the first one. This is the first close. All right, so I am actually going to jump into a bit of the backstory of Be Still. Some people have heard the backstory, those that were part of our listening party on my birthday, which was on June 13th, but others are just hearing it for the first time. So I wanted to make sure I started there. This song, Be Still, actually came from a disagreement and a little, I won't call it drama, but a little disagreement with my husband. And if any of you all are married, you know that marriage is not easy, right?
Oh,
So,
glory.
help us, Jesus. So as a wife, I'm always looking for ways to check myself on how I can be a better wife, on how I can be more helpful to my husband. But this song actually came from a disagreement that he and I had. And God was really dealing with me and really speaking to me about whether or not I should say something to him about how I felt about the situation. Um, I had to take the girls to school, and I'm in my car driving the girls to school and then coming back home. And I just kept hearing in my spirit, be still, be still. I can handle this. I'll speak for you. You don't have to say anything. This is not the time right now. And we all know that God speaks to many of us, whether it's in our hearts or audibly or through his word or through worship music or however you hear God. But we don't always listen, right?
That's true.
Amen.
So this was a moment for me to sit and listen to what God wanted me to do in this situation. And the only message that I kept getting over and over again was be still. Be still. Say nothing, I can handle it. And so I came home after dropping the girls off, and I sat at my kitchen counter and I wrote this song in 15 minutes. That is how the song Be Still came to life. I won't say came to life. That's how it started. That's how it started. That's how it was birthed. But as you know, any mothers on here, if you've given birth, we just got the fetus and we got the baby, but then the baby's got to grow, and the baby's got to learn to walk, and the baby's got to learn to feed, and all of those things. So that is where my two brothers, Chris and Jar, come in. So I really wanted to be able to have a discussion about where it started, the process, and then where it is now. I talk with my hands, y'all, so I hope it's not distracting. So I wanted to be able to talk about, there's Jar, hey, there's Chris, some studio time, the studio sessions. So yes, I will leave it there. I think at some point I will probably share and tell like the entire story, like what we were arguing about, give like the details of the drama. I'm planning on doing that because I really feel like people can only heal when you're being authentic and transparent.
Absolutely.
So I want to do that, but that's for another time. We'll save that for another time. All right. So Jar and Chris, so excited again to have you here. I can't say that enough. We have not seen each other in months. It's been a while. How's the pandemic? How's the quarantine and the social unrest treating you? How y'all doing?
I'm getting some good sleep. So I'm appreciative. But for those of us, which all three of us fit into this category, we're always running and have a lot to do. So I'm grateful in the midst of it, even though it's a change, just for a chance to slow down a little bit. I mean, it seems like we have other stuff to do now.
Yes.
But at the same time, a lot of it we can do from the comfort of our own home. So, spending extra time with family has been a blessing. Sleeping a little bit longer, cutting out that travel time has been a blessing.
Yes.
So we're doing okay over here.
That's good.
Yeah,
What about you, Chris?
I echo all of that. I've been enjoying being in the crib, chilling. Us husbands, you give us a remote and a sandwich, and we good to go. But
y'all be straight, right?
Right. I love to be at home because, and when you're working on music and things, like you just are sitting in front of your computer, you can really flesh out ideas. Sometimes we're just so much on the move that you don't really get an opportunity to just kind of think about like, how do I want this to sound, or how do I want to move in this situation. But this time has given me a lot of time to reflect. And also, spend time with the family, and the most important, getting sleep, like Josh said.
Oh yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Good. I believe someone said there's a bit of an echo, so if we can make sure we turn down the devices in the background or in the foreground, I want to make sure that everyone can hear clearly. Again, thank you guys for joining. Vivian, thank you so much for coming. Gavin Davis, I see you as well. Thank you all for joining us this evening. So We are going to jump right in. So tell me what your thoughts were. Let me preface it by saying this. After I wrote Be Still, I knew that it needed more. I knew that I didn't give it enough. I knew that if I put it into the hands of professionals, that I would be able to get the vision of the song out even more. Like I just knew that there was, I like had one color on the, in the painting palette. I only had one color or maybe two colors, but I knew that there were other paint brushes and other, designs and other things that needed to be added to the song, in order to make it really flower and flourish. And so I actually called Chris and Jar. I was like, I have this song. I need you guys to hear it. I really need you guys to hear it. So what most people don't know, well, actually you saw a piece of it on the video, is that I wrote the song in February of 2019. And here we are in June of 2020, and we're just now releasing the song. So there were many obstacles and many things that came along the way, but we are here. Jar and Chris, they took this song, they took this baby of mine, and made it beautiful. And let me say, I knew that I was turning it into the right hands because these two gentlemen are incredibly professional. They are well respected as producers and songwriters and musicians. And so I knew sending it to you all or giving it to you all, I knew that you all were going to do great things. Jarmone writes for many different people. I can't even start the list. But a lot of the amazing music that you hear now has his stamp on it. He's been writing for Marvin Sapp for years. I always love to tell people, you all know the song, Yes You Can, oh yes you can. That is Jarmone Davis. He wrote that song.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And definitely. And Chris, Chris has worked with some amazing artists. Chris and Jar just did some work with BET. Chris, I believe you've also written some things for Marvin Sapp. I feel like y'all are my brothers. I know y'all over here, but the people who you are professionally, I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude that you all would be willing to work with me. So thank you.
Well,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
well,
you.
well, let me say that that LaShaun is the consummate professional. Everything she does, even as Pastor Battle was saying in that clip, is just top notch. I was joking earlier, but I'm serious. I mean, just look at this. But one thing I do want to say, and this is as an encouragement to artists everywhere, is that when LaShaun brought Be Still to us, I feel like she didn't even have an idea of what she had. Because we did our thing with it, but it was already a great song. And that's just an encouragement to people who, somebody as great as LaShaun is what she does, still wasn't sure about it when she brought it to us. But it's like, the little kid with the 2 fish and the 5 loaves, or the widow woman that only had enough to make one cake, and she was like, I'm gonna make this, and me and my son gonna die. But
right,
she didn't realize that what she had was enough to. I mean, we just put some bells and whistles on it, but God, has gifted us to take ideas and take songs and take them to the next level. But as you guys heard from that voice note, what God gave her, it ain't like we put the song in the blender and chopped it all up, and we like she said, we just added some paint to it and stuff like that. So the biggest thing that I want to say was the message was already there. The power was already there. We just added, like I said, a bow to it. I just want people to know that the song already had it.
Yeah.
We just had to bring it to where it needed to be,
Yeah, and I would say, actually, when I heard it, I said to myself, I was like, this is one of them. I love songs that have a story behind it, because you can really, it makes it easy for arranging, as far as from the music standpoint. But when I heard it, I knew, I was like, this is scripture. It's a story, and she's going to be able to deliver this song. So
Wow.
that's when I didn't even worry about the rest of it. I was like, we're gonna make the rest of it happen, because that's the main point. I think the main part is, can the artist sing this today, sing this next year, and sing it forever, and still be able to deliver the feeling behind it. So and deliver the message too, so somebody could be, help. I know this has definitely been a blessing. It's been a blessing to me. I listen to this song and I'm encouraged as well. So I'm just thankful to be a part, and thankful to work with my bro on this one.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
They are the dream team. Now, don't y'all get no ideas, because we got other stuff going on. So don't be trying to come snatch them from me. I'm just saying. So let's move on to you talked about kind of the rewriting process a little bit. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about just kind of what the foundation was, and just, how what we did to kind of flourish the song, and what we were thinking about, to kind of make the song pop. I really want to give people a bird's eye view into what that process looks like. You don't have to be long, but just kind of, give them a little snippet. And maybe, Jar, you could probably start with you, since you are the songwriter extraordinaire.
Well, the first thing that we did was we met and had kind of like a presentation, or writing session, I guess you could say, where she presented the song to us. LaShaun presented the song to us, and we just kind of heard it. She had her sing it for us a couple of times, and just kind of started saying, all right, let's change this, or let's say this that way, or maybe let's go here. Actually, kind of one of the jokes that we have as we work together in music at church is we put some bam bams there, and a bam bam is when you just put something in place to kind of say, okay, we know we want to do something there. We're not exactly sure what we want to do, but we set up the keyboard at the Martin home. This was pre social distancing, and we just went through the song a couple of times and just started putting some things in place and some ideas in place that we felt like would start to bring the song to where it needed to be. As I said before, the song structure was already there. We just had to change some things to make it more. I think where we come in, or where I may come in, is that you have a raw idea, and myself and Chris, having an idea, or having somewhat of a knowledge of how things need to go, or how things need to be presented on a mainstream platform. We just started putting some of those elements in place and saying, yeah, I wouldn't say it that way, or we need to put a bridge right here, or is the song going to be without tempo, or is it going to be with tempo? So we just started putting some of those preliminary things in place to give the song the kind of structure that it needed to be able to, like I said, be right there with anything that you hear on the radio. Let me say, with the great stuff that you hear on the radio, because nowadays, well, yeah, but we just wanted it to be up there with the really, really, really good stuff, and I think that we accomplished that. But to answer your question, that's the kind of the first thing we did. Chris set up his piano. As you guys know, Chris is an amazing, if you don't know, amazing producer, amazing musician. And she just started singing a song. Chris started following her, and we immediately, like I said, started just, performing surgery, if you will, on the song, and just taking this out, moving this here, and doing things that was kind of like the beginning of the process.
Yeah. I think we literally just came. I think you said something. I heard you when you said we came to LaShawn's house. She had this little Casio keyboard. I was like, well, I ain't going back home to get the other one, the bigger keyboard. So we sat on there, had a few keys missing, but I actually love working with an idea from scratch. That's like where I thrive. I love to have an opportunity to work with a blank canvas. So that was we just came together, started singing. We actually had maybe 3 or 4 sessions, writing sessions, before we actually started the arrangement part with the music. And eventually, we brought the team in after we locked in, because a couple of times I was hitting Jar. I was like, that verse, bro, we should go here. And Jar was like, don't mess with it. Like, just, we want this to be true and authentic to LaShaun's writing style. So we had a little. I called him like 2 or 3 times about it. He convinced me. So and it actually worked out for the good. Because all we did to that song is literally just paint and bring some structure, and then call in the people, the team of really talented people to help us deliver the concept, deliver the as we call it, the baby. In terms of the song and the direction, as far as the writing, what kind of ideas did you pull from to in the rearrangement part, in inserting with the bam bams? Like, could you walk us through, like, what do you think in terms of bam bams, and when you want to pull an idea or pull something out or put something in?
Right.
Like,
well, that's a good question. So one of my major inspirations for building this song was LaShaun herself. Of course, we have the opportunity to see LaShaun in action all the time, and so I was really thinking about what could we add to this song to put LaShaun like in her sweet spot. And like, LaShaun, again, she can do CCM, she can do love songs, she can do gospel, she can do church God in Christ, but I think, her, again, I don't want to say her strength, because I think she has so many strengths, but one of the major things that we all love to see LaShaun do is get to that vamp. And if you don't know what a vamp is, the vamp is the end of the song where you drive the message home. And it's LaShaun. She just knows how to work a song. I was like, we definitely need that moment where she just stands flat-footed and just for lack of a better term, lets us have it. So my I think artistically sometimes we can be visually in my mind. As she was singing the song, I just saw her on a stage with a spotlight shining down on her, and it's just her. I mean, you hear the music, you hear the bands, you hear the backgrounds, but it's a spot. But you just see LaShaun in the middle, and the crowd is going crazy, and she is just singing the song. So I think that's pretty much. That's the biggest thing that we added to the song was the vamp on the song, and I was like, because it's like we need to go there. Like we need to like give her that moment, especially because this is her first song as a solo artist. Like she needs to have that moment to do what she does. So I would say in this particular song, that LaShaun herself was my inspiration. Like I'm like, she needs to have that moment where she does what she does, and she does what we all know. Like I'm thinking of when we did what's the song? And we're standing here only because she totally kills the song. But when we get to the end, it's like, it's about to go down. So those are the kind of moments that I kind of thought of. I'm like, yeah, we need to build this up so she can do what she does.
That's good.
Let me just say hi to a couple of people. Karen Battle, thank you for joining. Shalon Newton, yes, this is the dream team. I promise you, these guys are absolutely amazing. Vanessa, Gavin Davis, who are the musicians? So that's a very good question and a perfect segue into the next question. Chris, let's talk about the process of the music production and what you were hearing in the song to lead you to what you ended up doing with the song, musicianship, the structure of the song. Give us a bird's eye view into what that looks like for a music producer.
Yeah, so initially after this, before I select the musicians, I love to have the arrangement done. So I listen to it and I say, okay, what type of song is this? What are this particular song will be classified as a ballad. So I'm thinking about all the musicians that I know that can play ballads, and that's their strong point. Most musicians can play ballads, but there are some musicians where that's their strong point. So, slow songs and fast songs, they're two different styles of playing. And after we landed on the arrangement, we said, okay, we definitely gonna need strings on this. We're gonna need the strings. Then I was thinking about guys that I work with on a regular basis, because that camaraderie is very important when you're in the creative process. And so I get a bass arrangement, and then we come together at the band rehearsal. And I don't like to lock in the arrangement. I typically like to give like some type of structure, and then as we're playing, I'll kind of listen for feedback. Like, guys, what y'all feeling? What y'all feeling? And then we kind of just start merging ideas together, because I think it's better. At least the way I like to produce. I like to involve everybody, because it's better to get a total sound. Because since they're playing anyway, you might as well have some of their approach towards the song. So after we landed on arrangements, I knew who we're going to choose, and then it was that was it from there. I don't know if you want me to go into naming the band yet, but at some point we can get into that
Gonna
part.
get there. Yeah, you know what? This is actually a perfect opportunity. Let's go ahead and name the band and talk about some of the things that they've done and why you selected them, why you selected them to work on this particular project. Let's
Okay,
shout them.
cool. Yeah, so the first one of the biggest parts to this song, I would say, is the string arrangement. That the string arrangement really brings it awakens the song up. I would like to consider it almost maybe the second most important piece to the song after the lead vocals. All parts are important, but there's a supporting role that the strings play. And yeah, I called a friend from Dallas. His name is Rory Cotton. I'm not even going to attempt to try to go down all the people he played for, the list of people. But literally, he's on pretty much. If you heard it, if it's on the radio, and this is the one that comes to mind right now. I know he's done. Oh Jesus, what's the guy's name? That's why I'm not going to do this. But there's like five people. There's like five people on the jar. You might know if you know what I'm talking about. He's a male artist, young male artist out of Philly. I can't think of his name right now. But anyway,
Jermaine Dolly?
You talking about Jermaine Dolly?
yeah, Jermaine Dolly. Jermaine Dolly has a single on the radio right now, and that's his work on there. And he's done so much work within the gospel industry. Roy Cotton. So it was when he said he could do it, I was so elated. I was like, man, thank you so much, bro. And then after that, we have the drums. I'm a good friend of mine, Jamal Moore, very respectable within the music industry. He's played for countless people across gospel, secular, just to name a few. Byron Cage, Usher, Usher Raymond. So he's done a lot of work, and I work with him I work with him quite frequently. So actually, we played the same church together, so it makes it even more easy. And bass is Frank Jarvois. Frank Jarvois, uh, another amazing bass player, and played with quite a few people. These are all, most importantly, these are all my friends. So it just makes the creative process so much fun. We don't even we're laughing 80% of these are band rehearsals. That's the music comes because that's by nature. Everybody wants to achieve a common goal, and so we're able to just get on our instruments and know what we're trying to do. And then Jara, you want to talk about, oh, I'm sorry, missed one person on guitar. We had Tyrone Jackson from North Carolina. He's played on a lot of records. Most recently, some of CC Wine and stuff. I've used him quite a few times. Is good guy, clean sound. I know what I'm gonna get every time I call him. So yeah, those are my guys on this one, and I was very happy to work with them on this particular song. And Jar, if you want to,
And let me just say let me just say real quick, when Chris told me, who I didn't know all of the guys personally, but a few of them I had heard of, and the fact that they agreed to work on this song, I was completely blown away. Especially those that have worked, with the Clark sisters and Fred Hammond and Commission and CeCe Winans, who, if you know LaShaun, you know she is
yeah,
one of my absolute favorites. Um, so I was just really honored, that they even agreed to work on this project. So
yeah,
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 awesome job, Chris. Jar, talk
yeah.
about the BGVs.
The
The beat,
BGVs.
V.
Right, BGV.
The
Right.
B's,
So
okay.
when we were so let's say this. I kind of I forgot to mention this before. I think this is worth mentioning that when LaShaun first brought this song to us in 2019, of course, we had no idea that what was coming was coming. And so
Right.
just to show you how prophetic the message of this song is, this is not something that after everything started to happen and 2020 started to unfold that LaShaun said, oh, let me write a song that will fit this season. This is something that God gave her that was for this season before anybody knew that this was going to happen. So I said that to say when we got together to record the vocals for this song, it was literally the day the country shut down. I mean,
The
literally
absolute
the day.
day.
Like the point where we were like, okay, we got to do this because we don't we at that point we didn't know if like the police were going to be outside, like y'all got to get home after. All we knew is that 8 o'clock we had to be home, and so we were trying to think about who to sing, who would sing backgrounds, and so we called one of our friends, Amber Harmon, and soon to be Aaron Gillespie,
Yeah.
but Amber Harmon, and she was on her way, and we were trying to think about, okay, who else could we get to sing, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, Amber can sing anything, and so
Yes, she can.
and she literally can. So she sang soprano and alto, and then and her voice is sultry enough for me to add my jagged tenor.
Come on, Jagged Davis.
Woo, yeah. So Amber Harmon did the soprano and the alto, and when I tell you, she knocked the whole song out in the matter of probably 30 minutes, if that long.
The thing about it, initially, the idea, we were talking about like possibly having a small choir behind and all that.
Yeah.
But when everything changed, it was like, all right, how do we get this done today? Because after today, we don't know where we're gonna end up. So, like Josh said, it worked out, and we were able to get home before curfew.
Exactly.
Right. Because I think that particular night it was like 8 o'clock, right? We had to be home by 8.
Yep, 8 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I was going to also say, when it comes to me and Chris's partnership, even though of course we're both creative, Chris is more of the left brain, I'm more of the right brain. You know what I'm saying? So Chris is good. He's good at being on time. He's good at putting all the administrative pieces together, and I'm like the fly by night. Let's do this, let's do that. Oh, there goes the fly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually laughing because Chris is like, I don't put all my arrangements together before the band gets together, but he gets on me about doing that. Anyway, because leading up to the studio session, Chris was calling me like every, and if you know Chris is not a person. He's not going to impose his will on you. He's going to suggest it to you.
Right.
So he's like, man. So he's like, yeah, John. I'm just calling just to see, how you coming along with the arrangement. And I'm like, yeah, man, we'll get it by the time we get to the studio. We'll be good. And so, and the reason my process is like, I don't want to lock us in, because I know when we get into the studio, moments are going to happen. Things are going to happen. And so as we were in the studio, I'm like, oh, I hear this. Oh, I hear that. And it all came together. I love being inspired by certain things. And so I knew that once I heard the piano, once I heard the guitar, or once I heard the strings, that I was going to be inspired. So I didn't want to lock into anything before we got there. But we got there. We didn't have to come back and do any overdubs. Everything just came together. And we, like Chris said, we got home by curfew.
Listen, oh my gosh. I remember that day because I was in a panic. And when I received I think somebody sent me a text message, I called Chris and I was just like, oh my God, I was literally about to walk out of the door. What do you want me to do? And so I was kind of in a frenzy, on my end, and Kay was at work and the girls were at home. And I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? So, but in that moment, I just said to myself, God, it has taken so long for this song for everyone to be able to hear the song and for us to be able to complete this song. Whatever your will is in this moment, I know that you are going to make a way of escape. Now, I don't know if that escape meant me escaping out the house or me escaping from jail if I got locked up because they arrested me for being out after the curfew. But I just felt like God was in it from the beginning, and God was going to continue to be in it. And one way or another, it was all going to work out. So, and in our studio sessions, we were, Chris, I remember calling Chris and I was just like,
spraying and wiping.
spraying and wiping the whole time. And I have been out of the house maybe 5 or 6 times during this entire pandemic. I mean, like since March, because, various reasons, but I wasn't playing with this corona.
And for those of you all, those of you all who know LaShaun, way before this pandemic, she do not play with germs. She do not play. She don't play. So
no, sir.
It wasn't going to be no recording happening unless it was clean and good to go.
Right. Exactly. But I think one of the maybe 5 or 6 times that I've been out of my house since March, 2 of those times were for the studio session. So wow. I knew that God somehow, some way was gonna work it out. I want to talk for a minute about the different messages that we kept getting throughout this process. I'll say for me, I would, be on social media, scrolling through social media, and Psalms 46:10, be still and know that I am God, would just pop up in random places. People would send me, there we go. People would send me, messages. I would see things, on TV. It was just crazy how many different signs, if you will, that God was giving me and Jar and Chris while we were in this process, that we knew this song we knew it had to come out. We knew it had to be birthed. And like Jar said, this song was written in February 2019. I know y'all didn't know that we would be in the middle of a pandemic. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to be, obedient and, be obedient to God as it related to my husband, who knew that this song would become an anthem for these times now.
Yeah.
Right now. Who knew? Nobody had a clue that this would be happening, but all of the different messages that we received. Chris, I know you sent me a couple. Jar, you were just like, look what I just saw.
Yeah. Actually, before we started working on this song, I was working with the drummer Jamal Moore that I just mentioned. In 2019, we were working on a song called "Being." Well, actually, I called the song something else, but when he released the song, he named it "Being Still," and I was like, "Well, how did you get that?" And so I wasn't really tripping about the title, so we just went with it. Not like maybe you called me maybe a couple months after that, and then this song popped up. We didn't even put a title on this until maybe closer to the studio time. It just be, so it was definitely it was a message, like it was a forewarning, and well, not so much a warning, but it was just something foretelling, like letting us know, like, hey, this is about to come. You about to be still. You about to be
right.
a little bit.
I mean,
Wait,
you know,
and what
and
were you saying earlier, Chris? You were saying how many different ways has your mama or your daddy
Right.
told you?
How many ways have you heard your mama say, "Boy, be still, sit down"?
No, I was going to say that you know, I'm a firm believer that you know, we all believe that and know that God orchestrates things. As
Yes.
LaShaun mentioned before, we recently Marvin Sapp just released a single called "Thank You for It All" that Chris and I wrote, and
Yeah.
this is a true story. So we hadn't told LaShaun anything about the song or anything about the recording. And so I said, we were trying to think about when we're going to get in the studio next. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll have to wait till next week because we're actually going to be out of town this week. I'm going to be in Dallas. And I didn't even mention that Chris was going to be there. And she's like, really? She's like, Mo, we were in a writing session. That's right. We were in a writing
We
session.
were.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be in Dallas later this week. And she was like, really? She was like, she's like, I think I am too. And she looked at her calendar, and we were literally going to Dallas for Bishop Sapp's recording. And it just so happened that she had to be in Dallas for a work event the same day.
Yeah.
So
Right.
she actually ended up coming to the recording with us and was there and was able to witness that awesome moment. But God just orchestrated that in a crazy way. The fact that, you know, we're producers working with an artist and we have a chance to go to a recording and, you know, for her to just kind of see how things work and go and as she's preparing to step out and launch out as an artist. So those are kinds of things that happen that, you know, God is in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we work on the song, we're sitting there, and the following week we just happen to all be in Dallas at the same time. You know what I'm saying? like what, how does that happen? You know what I'm saying? But it happened. It really happened.
It did, and I was so grateful for that moment and grateful for that opportunity to be in that room. I mean, it'd been some years, some long years since I've been part of a live recording, and so to see, you know, number one, to see the process, but then to see just the excellence in which things are done. You know, a lot of us, you know, between the three of us, we know a lot of people. We've been part of many ministries that do things in excellence as well. So we know what excellence looks like, right? But I just kept thinking, gosh, how perfect is it that I'm sitting in this room at this moment during this process? So I'm so grateful. You're right, Jar. I mean, who knew? Who
Like, yeah,
knew?
that's
I was joking
incredible.
when y'all probably thought I was joking too when I said I was gonna be
Yeah,
in Dallas.
yeah. I mean, that's just amazing. And probably, I mean, I don't want to misspeak, but I mean, of course, you know, live recordings for 2020 are probably, you know, over with. So,
Yeah.
you know, so yeah, that might have been the last one. So, you know, for this year, but yeah, it just was amazing how God orchestrated that. So.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I see some more people joining. Just want to shout you guys out. Thank you so much for being here. Your boy Jeremiah Hicks just joined. Family.
What's up, Jeremiah? You can't go live on Facebook without Jeremiah Hicks. Now, that's a rule.
Jeremiah, the Go Live Bishop.
The Go Live Bishop.
Yes, sir.
I love it. We also have Christina Payne. We have Tamra Johnson. The beautiful thing about tonight and about the next thing I'm getting ready to talk about is that people from all over the country have been listening to this song and dialing in and really supporting this song. So some of the people on here now are from the DMV area, but they're also from California. There are people from Texas on here as well. There are people from Florida on here. There are people from New York and New Jersey and Minnesota on here right now, and Arizona. I know I'm forgetting one other place. Las Vegas, they're also on here right now too. So I'm just
Wow.
grateful, for how this song has, taken on a life of its own. So I wanted to talk about the listening party. And if you were here at the very beginning, then you saw the video of the making of Be Still. We will actually run it again at the very end. We're actually almost at the end now. We're going to wrap pretty soon, but we'll run it at the end so you all can see it. What'd you say, Chris?
This is your third close.
This is my third close, right? This is my third close. So we will run it again at the end. But one of the things that we did with this song is I wanted people to hear it who I knew would tell me the truth. I knew would give me feedback and be honest about that feedback before the song was released to anyone else. So what you see here now is a Zoom listening party of, I believe the top number that we had that night were about 112 of my close family members, friends, colleagues. I know people say 112. How can you have that many close friends and family? I promise you, between my Zion family and my family at Emmanuel that I grew up with, my family at Bethany Church of God in Christ that I grew. Yes, I'm a Koji kid. Those folks that I grew up with, also to the different organizations that I'm part of. There were 112 people on that call, on that Zoom call, and it was an amazing night of just awesome feedback. It was my birthday, so I felt all warm and fuzzy, receiving all of the love. But it wasn't really for me. It wasn't about, oh my gosh, I want you to hear this amazing song. It was, I am scared to death, but if we're going to share this song, I'm going to share it with the people closest to me first before we release it to the rest of the world, because if it's trash, I want them to tell me the truth. And I knew that it wasn't trash, but I still wanted to be able to hear the feedback of my closest family members and friends. So that was the video that you all just saw. We'll run a piece of it at the very end before we move forward. But thank you to every single person that joined that Zoom. My pastors were on there, my family members, my friends, people who have known me since I was literally a baby. The woman who taught me how to drive was on there.
Wow.
So like we're going way back. My girls' godparents were on there. I mean, it was just my best friend since middle school was on there. It was incredible. My cousins and aunts and, just so many people. So it was really beautiful. The other thing that I wanted to share is that we actually, on that night during the Zoom listening party, the birthday listening party, we shared the lyric video of Be Still. It's really important to me that people hear the words of this song, that people hear the lyrics of this song. The musicality is amazing. You heard Chris just go down the list of all of the amazing musicians that were part of this song. Absolutely incredible. What I didn't want is for the lyrics to be lost, because I wanted people to be ministered to in the same way that I was ministered to when I wrote it, and in the same way that I'm ministered to now when I listen to it. The song still brings me to tears because there are still moments where God is working with me now to be still. And so it's not about the fact that it's my voice. It's not about the fact that I think the song is amazing, but I think the lyrics are really encouraging and inspiring to those who are in a struggle, and you're just not sure which direction to go. You just don't know where to go. And it's just a good reminder for us to be still. So I said all that to say we shared the lyric video. On that call, but the lyric video is also available on my YouTube page. So if you go to LaShaun Martin Music, you will find the lyric video there. So we hope that you all will continue to listen to it. You can also stream the song on Spotify. You can stream it on Pandora. You can purchase the song where all music is sold. I have been waiting for years to say that. For years to say that. So Be Still is available on all digital platforms. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on Google Play, Amazon, Deezer. I'm not even going to go through the whole thing. You can find it everywhere. All of
everywhere,
them. All of them.
everywhere.
Everywhere. Um, and the funny thing about the getting the song released is there was a delay even after the listening party in the song being released on all digital platforms. And I don't know about y'all, but I was like, my nerves were overkill, like over the top. Like, wait a minute, everybody told me that if it's gonna be anywhere first, it's gonna show up on iTunes first. Well,
Right.
it showed up on iTunes last.
Wow.
On iTunes last, and that's where most people consume their music, right? So, you know, I just felt like, I don't know, you maybe you guys can speak to this. I just felt like that was the devil, that was the enemy just trying to discourage, you know, and delay, you know, what we knew that God had
You know,
for
those
us.
type of things, you know, they happen, you know, when it comes to technology, and you're literally sending, like, I don't even know how many. It's probably like 10 to 15 platforms, the same information, and so, you know, you just never know with those type of things, and it's just like, there you go. You gotta listen to the words of the song. Well, I gotta be still on this one because I'm going to lose my mind if
Yeah.
this thing that, and plus you've been telling people, hey, you can get it, it's going to be available, and then boom, it's not. So that's another way to apply the lyrics to the song. You know, the words of the song. Just, you know, it's where we kind of had to be still and just wait it out. I don't even know how long did it take, LaShaun. I think it took like an additional like 5 days before iTunes got back. But yeah, Jar, I think you were going to say something.
You kind of already covered what I was going to say, which is, you know, one thing I've learned, especially as a worship leader, as a singer, even as a speaker, when you declare something, you know, the enemy is going to test you on it, you know. So, you know, it's like, you know, you're telling people to be still, and it's like, you know, kind of like, you know, like God saying, you know, have you considered my servant LaShaun? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you sing this song about being still, and enemy like, all right, let me see how still you gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
You singing about it.
Yeah. And so, you know, so I have learned, you definitely still believe what God has said, and you definitely still make those declarations. But I've learned, and I'm sure you guys know this, especially you, LaShaun, as a worship leader. You know, you can stand up there in that platform and declare some things, and when you step off on Monday, the enemy like, okay, let's see.
Listen, I got one better for you. While you're walking up the platform, there could be some things going on, and you got to either shut that stuff down, or you have to worship through.
There you go.
You got to worship through those things. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and then people don't understand that being an artist is one thing, being a worship leader is something completely different. Completely different, because your responsibility as a worship leader is to help bring the congregation or those watching or those listening on the journey of worship with you, and laying the foundation for the pastor to be able to preach the word with ease. Right?
Yeah.
So that's your responsibility as a worship leader. As an artist, you kind of got to shift your brain a little bit. You're still ministering to the people, you're still taking people on a journey, but you got to think about all this other business stuff in the background. What your outfit look like, and what you know, it's all of the other things that come with, you know, being an artist that, you know, can be a bit of a struggle if it's not the arena, you know, that you're used to being in. So we got some amens. Y'all was preaching on here. We got some amens.
And let me say this too. I don't know if I've said this to you, LaShaun, but I've said this to Chris. I'm just like, you know, I said LaShaun is the perfect candidate to be an artist. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of singers who want to or worship leaders who want to make the transition to artists, they, you know, that's sometimes that all we know is singing, you know, and but again, those of you who know LaShaun, she's very proficient in social media, and branding and marketing. You know, she's always, you know, always dressed to the nines. She's always, you know, put together. And so really, it's almost like all we have to do is tell LaShaun a direction and she gonna run in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you have to do a whole. I mean, really, like I said, I don't know if I've ever said that to you, but I am saying it to you tonight that all of the elements for artistry were already there. LaShaun don't have to. She didn't have to. And I'm of course, like we have again, we thank God for Amplified Network and they're helping out. But when it comes to the social media thing, she is the social media team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so when it comes to a lot of the elements that are necessary for an artist to be able to thrive in the market in today's industry, I mean, she already has it, So again, like I said, the reason why she has hit the ground running is because a lot of the skills and a lot of the insight that one needs to do this in 2020, she already had. And literally, she's not a person. Of course, she does ask questions, but we don't get we didn't get a whole lot of, a whole lot of bounce back. We like, okay, you should do this. And the next day she's texting us like, okay, here it go. We like, dang, we done forgot, we done told her to do it. And she done already done it.
He be ready to roll.
LaShaun is on it. When it comes to, again, getting stuff together, she is on it. And so I know she's gonna win. She obviously has the talent, the gift, and the anointing, but she also has the work ethic. And when you put those two things together, and of course, God's plan, God has ordained this. I mean, I know this is just the beginning because she has all the elements that needed. Can't forget Brother K, on the wheels of steel, making sure everything. So, but no, those two together, and even the girls, even on the night of your release, and everybody was working and doing their thing, and so she has the team in place. That we gonna get it done. We gonna get it done. But it starts with her as the artist. She's a self-starter, and whatever you say, hey, LaShaun, you need to do this, she's going to get it done. So that's huge.
Wow. I appreciate that. It was really important to me, and I'll just say this. It was really important to me that before the song came out or before we even did anything with music, that the business was in place. I had to make sure that the business was in place as a businesswoman, and as someone who, is part of other, nonprofit organizations, and just really things have to be done right. And I can't, my spirit, I don't know, maybe it's the way I was raised, my mama's on the line, but I just can't put things out that are not done with professionalism and with excellence. It's just not who I am. It's not anything I want to be associated with, honestly, because I feel like if I can give my best to all of these other things in my life, all of these other areas in my life, why can't I give my absolute best to God? Why can't I give my absolute best to the ministry? Why can't I give my absolute best, to a gift that He's provided me with, that He's given me? God could take this tomorrow, so why wouldn't I give Him my best? So I really thank you all for taking my late text messages and my 1,020 questions. Like, what do I do with this? How do I do this? And what do I do with this? You all have been just so gracious in helping me get not only just the music side of things going and making sure that was secure, but also the business side, the back end that a lot of, people, a lot of artists, they don't pay attention to. So I don't know, Chris, do you want to speak to that for a moment?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we've had a lot of discussions specifically about the business side. So we'll end our writing session and just, we'll end a session and then just go into about, hey, what are mechanical royalties? How do you copyright? I think Jar was sending some recommendations on different ways to submit your music. And it's like everything we were saying, it's like you were soaking it up. And you and Kay were very gracious to accepting some of the ideas that we had. Like you you never like turn down an idea. You always like, well, if this is for the greater good or if this is for a win, let's go for it. And I think the ability to be open to that allowed us to be free in all the creative ways that we decided to design the song. Like I said, we had some more things that we wanted to do, but it was just designed to be the way that it was, and so we went with it. And God did the rest.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Amen.
So we are actually over time. So this is going to what did I have my third closing earlier? So this is my fourth. This be my fourth. Okay.
I lost count. I thought this was 3, but I guess we're on 4.
I thought it was 3 too. Chris said it's 4. So all right,
I added one in there when the audio went out. I just threw a little extra one.
Okay, right.
That was an involuntary close, right?
That was an involuntary one. So D Love Capricorn says, I remember when LaShaun sang with BB Wine and she could, wow. Okay. Yeah, that was a highlight for me. That was a huge highlight for me, just as a singer, as a worship leader, being able to sing with someone that, I don't use the word idolize because, Bible talks about idols. Someone that I admire. It's somebody that I admire. That was huge for me. And there have been other artists that I've sang with as well, but this one was it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool for me. So shout out to BB and CC Winans, and the whole Winans crew. Listen, don't get no better. Don't get no better than that. So 2 last things I want to talk about. The song's impact so far. So we've been watching and paying attention to where the song is being played, to the radio stations that are playing it. We have a few radio stations that are playing it right now. So if you are not in our area, make sure that you request it from your radio stations. Ask them to play Be Still. Connect with us. Make sure you go. You can see LaShawnMartinMusic.com at the bottom of the screen here. Make sure that you go to the website and you're able to connect with us. Add your name to our mailing list where you can see new information and new events that are coming up from LaShaun Martin Music, and also Be Still. We have a radio station in California playing it. We have some stations here in Maryland playing it. We have Nashville playing it. We have some stations in Texas as well playing it. One thing that I found out about 2 weeks ago, and I got to tell you, it was one of the most amazing things for me. And I don't even know if I shared this with you all yet. I went on the back end of, one of the platforms, where Be Still is being played, and it showed me that there are people in the UK playing Be Still.
Wow.
In the UK. I'm just like, God, you are incredible. God, you are incredible. So we wanted to go everywhere. We wanted to go, many places. I've had a couple of conversations about taking Be Still to Africa and the Bahamas, and I'm like, all right, we need Auntie Corona to go somewhere first.
Right.
Before we do that. But
right.
Let's even call her Auntie. She ain't no family member. Get out of here. Get out of here. So yes, the track is moving, Sierra. Yes, you're right. The track is moving. So again, go to LaShawnMartinMusic.com. What's next for Be Still? What's next for LaShawn Martin Music? I will tell you, and my producers here can tell you, that we are actively working on more music. We're continuing to write. The next single is actually already written. And so we've got some more music coming your way. As you all know, we are in a pandemic, so things are not going to happen as quickly as they did before we were shut down. But please keep watching, please keep listening, please keep following on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LaShawn Martin Music, our LinkedIn. I'll post my LinkedIn here as well. Continue to follow what we're doing. We also have some more big news that is coming up. We're working on it, and that big news will be released in the next couple of weeks. And so hold on to your hats. Look for more information from LaShawn Martin Music, and make sure, if you haven't already, make sure that you are following Chris Thomas Leach at Chris Thomas Leach, also at Jarmone. They are amazing. I am not the only artist that they work with. They have phenomenal things going on. They are gentlemen. They are husbands. Jarmone is a dad. He will be a dad times two coming up here really soon. Um, and so follow what they're doing. They're gifted gentlemen. They are hilariously funny. They made this process and this journey of Be Still just a pleasure to be able to work with you all. Again, I mean, we had other areas in which we worked, from business to ministry, but being able to do this with you all has truly, truly, I can't say it enough, been an absolute gift for me. So I love you guys to pieces. I love your wives. I love your families. I
We love
appreciate
you
them
too.
We love
tolerating,
you back.
me
We
in
love
this
you
process.
back.
And let me say this, and I don't know how to do this without getting emotional. If it were not for my husband freeing me up to tell the authentic story of Be Still, to share the lyrics of Be Still, this song would not be here.
Hmm.
I had to get his permission to even tell the story, not to write the song, but to share like the authenticity of the story. So I just appreciate him. We've been married a long time, and I appreciate him for, just allowing me to be transparent. I appreciate my babies, my daughters, Aria and Elon. Thank y'all for letting mommy burn the midnight oil with this music and be all over the place to make sure, that this was birthed, and people were able to hear this music. It's pretty darn cool when you got, when you have teenagers and they're pushing it out, on their Snapchat and their
Yeah.
Instagram. They're like, hey, my mom's got a song out. Follow my
Yeah.
mom. Make sure that's pretty darn cool, because
Yeah.
teenagers a lot of
Yeah.
times they're like, we got other stuff that we're thinking about. So, and also, to my mom, who is just my rock. She's amazing. She's on here now. Hey, mommy, I love you.
Hey,
And
mom.
to my dad, who is, no longer with us. He has, departed and went to be with Jesus some years ago now. About, I think we're coming up on the 5th year. But he was the one who told me, Sean, get it done. Get it done. Get this song done. If you don't do anything else, get this song done. And so, in my frustration and worry about him and making sure that he was okay when he got sick, I really dragged my feet on getting my music out because I just didn't, I wanted to focus on my dad. I wanted to focus on him and his health and getting him better. But God had a different plan. For how that story would end, but I am grateful that I am still being obedient in this moment to not only my natural father but also to my heavenly father. And if I don't do anything else right, I want to be right with God.
Right.
I want to be right with God. So we're not gonna we're not gonna have an altar call here tonight, but I encourage all of you, if you do not know our Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ, make it your business to
Amen.
develop a relationship with him. This is not about denominations. This is not about churches. This is not about anything else other than you and your relationship with Christ. So with that, gentlemen, you have anything else to share?
No, that was a perfect ending. Perfect ending.
Oh, well, that was perfect. I guess I'm gonna mess it up by saying no. No, I was just going to say that when it comes to supporting our own and buying black, this is a perfect opportunity to do it. Turn on that Spotify, turn on that iTunes. This is the kind of music that you can play at night on repeat while you're sleeping. You ain't gonna wake up with no heebie-jeebies, or you have to or have to never laugh. you can play this. So share this song with somebody. Share this song not just because it's LaShaun, but because it is a song that it just will encourage people. It will build people up. It's a message that is so apropos for this season and for this time. And so let's just remember to continue to support her. And as she said, there's more coming. This is just the beginning. So get ready, get ready, get ready.
Yeah. Just the beginning. So right before we end and before we segue to we're going to play the video again, the Making of Be Still video again, just so the people who popped in late can see it. But I want to have Amplify Network come on really quickly just to say hey to y'all. This has been the brains and the heart and the partnership behind what's happening here tonight. So if you can come on Amplify Network, if you have a moment to switch over. If you don't, let us know, and we can. If you don't have a moment because they're busy. Oh, there they are. Hey, I just wanted you to come on screen to thank you for hosting us this evening. Amplify Network has an amazing ministry. They are on every single morning at 6:30 a.m. Wow. Praying and talking about the good news of Jesus Christ and sharing music from different artists and just doing all kinds of amazing things for the kingdom of God. So thank you, Amplify Network, for hosting us this evening. We know we had a couple of glitches, y'all, but y'all know technology is not always fair. So we thank you for being patient with us. And with that, we are going to play the video again. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for supporting this song. Go stream it. Go download it. It's only 99 cents. Go, go share it. All of that.
Yeah.
When you're troubled, frustration is on every hand. When you're tired, you don't know if you can stand. When you're weak and worn, He is holding on. Just be
Tough times are going to come in our lives, but I've learned when they do, trust God and be still.
Side profile. Turn your body this way too. Go ahead and spread your legs out to me.
That's it.
Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. Happy birthday. And I know this is going to be great.
Thanks. I just can't wait for the world to see the awesome gift that you have, that God's given you.
I know I'm going to be singing it all day and all night. I'm not going to be able to get it out of my head.
It's bad enough that racial and inequality has completely overshadowed a whole pandemic. But in all of this, be still and know.
But every word in that song has been my testimony for the last 3 years.
I want to thank you for sharing medicine and not only great music.
This song is so well constructed that like it's going to be very, very attractive to a lot of different people.
It's in your heart, in your life, in your gift to deliver it to the world at a time like this. So
I love the song, but I don't care what you sing. I just love the voice, like you can say anything. It would not even matter.
I love the song. It actually moved me to tears. The timing is amazing.
Yeah. So I appreciate you always, having a word and praying with me when I ask you for that. And the song is gonna step in when I can't bug you.
You see the thugs who will be like, never would have made it. Right? It's like how do you know that song? This is one of those.
Wow. There are only a certain amount of people who can come into the delivery room to witness a birth. We have witnessed a great birth today. That song is you. Without the music, I could just hear you saying every word of encouragement. And your baby is going to thrive and do glorious and magnificent things in the kingdom of God. In the name of Jesus. I love you.
You're always on. Like when the countdown drops and it's time, you're always on. From your outfit to your chords to your notes to your anointing, you're always on. It's like there's an expectation. What used to be exceptional becomes expected. Like we expect you to be excellent. That's just the pressure that's on you because of the power of music in our world and how music frames our thinking, how people listen to music before they go into job interviews, before they go into sporting events. Like the world needs to know. There's certain things you can't know unless you're still enough to know it. Like when God says, be still and know I'm God, it's not like he's not God. He's God anyway. You just have to be still enough to know it.
So I am getting ready to post my very first debut single. I'm just so grateful to God that he allowed me to see this day. That he didn't give up on me even when I gave up on myself. Here we go.
I have been waiting to say this for a very long time.
Ready?
Do you guys want to say it all together?
Be Still
is officially available on all digital platforms. Yeah!
Alexa, play Be Still by LaShaun Martin.
Be Still by LaShaun Martin on Amazon Music.
I bet you like Alexa now, huh?
God, you're so beautiful.